And good afternoon, welcome to OFC Headquarters in Auckland, New Zealand. We're getting set to do the official draw of the 2011-2012 O-League. As we see here, the head of competitions at OFC, David Fitisua, just going over the draw procedure. To his right, to the left on the screen is Senior Vice President of Oceania Football Confederation, Martin Alufurai. Of course, President of Solomon Islands Football Federation. He will be helping to conduct this draw. The 8 teams here, of course, are also in attendance. As we see the first pot being drawn to see who will go into Group A. The teams involved, of course, are Bar from Fiji, Mont d'Or from New Caledonia, there's Tefana from Tahiti, Waitakere United from New Zealand, as we see Martin Alufurai, and just handing over the first team for Group A, and it is Bar from Fiji, the club champions, returning to the O-League. They missed out last season and the season before, but they have been in 2007, 2008 and 2009 in the O-League. We look now to see what position they will take in Group A.
Yeah. Show me then. Then show me. Show me.
It is Bar from Fiji in position 3 to get Group A underway in this O-League draw, taking place in the Charles J. Dempsey Conference Room here in Auckland. And of course streaming to you live on oceaniafootball.com. Now we see the next team to be drawn. And it is Mont d'Or from New Caledonia. Also missed out last season in the O-League, but they have competed before in 2007 in the inaugural O-League season. So we see now which position they will take in Group A. We've already seen Bar come through in position 3, and now Martin Alufurai there holding the position 4 for Group A. It's Mont d'Or, New Caledonian champions, beating out Magenta, of course, in the final of their National League to make it through to this O-League. The 8 teams, of course, competing for a place in the FIFA Club World Cup. Now we see the third team for Group A. And what position they will take. The third team, it is Tefana from Tahiti that have been drawn. And they are in position 2. So Tefana from Tahiti, drawn into position 2 for Group A, so almost complete here. One more team to go, and that is the New Zealand club champions, of course winning the ASB Premiership, Waitakere United. A dramatic win for them in the grand final against Auckland City, winning 3-2 to take out that championship, and there they are in position 1. So Group A is rounded out. A strong group, Waitakere United, position 1, Tefana from Tahiti 2, we have Bar from Fiji 3, and Mont d'Or from New Caledonia in position 4. We now look at the 4 teams left for Group B. Defending champions Auckland City, and Amikau from Vanuatu, Hikari United and Kolowale, as we welcome Lee Harmon to take part in this draw. He is the Vice President of Oceania Football Confederation and the President of Cook Islands Football Association. We see him there taking part, assisting David Fitisua in this draw procedure. Holding out the first team for Group B, and it is Hikari United, Papua New Guinea club champions, and of course O-League champions in 2010. They will take a position 2, Hikari United. As we see the second team to be drawn, it is Vanuatu's Amical, who were finalists in the 2011 O-League, recently playing Auckland City, losing in the home and away final. We see their position now in this Group B. Position 1, so a tough first up match in Group B. Vanuatu's Amical will host Hikari United. The O-League, of course, played in a home and away format, with the top team in each group going through to the final, as we see Auckland City, the defending champions. Now, where will they go in this Group B? Will they have a home match first up, or will they be playing away? It looks to be in position 4. So, of course, the way the draw is, it is 3 that will host the first match, and it is the final team, Kolowale, from the Solomon Islands, that will, of course, round out Group B and go into position 3. So they will host Auckland City, and that will be an exciting match played in Honiara, of course, Lawson Tama Stadium. Always great fans there in Solomon Islands. So we look at Group B. Amical, Hikari United, Kolowale and Auckland City. There it is, Group A, of course. We've seen Waitakere United, Tefana, Bar and Mont d'Or concluding this official draw for the 2011-2012 O-League. As we've just completed the draw for the 2011-2012 O-League, I'm here with Craig Edwards from Auckland City. Tell me, Craig, what are your thoughts on this draw, particularly how it fits in with the team's preparations to go to Japan later this year for the FIFA Club World Cup?
Well, it's not an easy start. Honiara away, that's going to be tough, but we've got a tough job in Japan as well, so it's going to be good preparation on that side of things. So you'd always like it a little bit easier to begin with, a home game or something, but we're going to have to play away in Japan, and we're going to have to play top sides there, so it's good preparation, I think.
And the difference, of course, this year with the 2 New Zealand teams split in Group A and Group B, how do you think that will change the dynamics of this competition?
Well, the dynamics are changing. All the sides are getting tougher. So it's a challenge. It's going to be more challenging. It's tough to travel. I suppose Waitakere made it a little bit easier in a sense, although they were tough opposition, but not playing away from home or out of Auckland was a good thing. So yeah, it's just going to be different. It's going to be pretty tough, but it is getting tougher every year, this competition. Okay,
thanks very much and good luck for the season. So I'm joined now with the OFC General Secretary, Ty Nicholas. You've just seen the draw for the 2011-12 O-League. What are your thoughts on how the competition will play out this year?
Well, already we've got some exciting matches as we split the 2 New Zealand teams up, with Waitakere playing Bar. Could be a home game for Bar in Waitakere, but that was the point of it. The split of the 2 New Zealand games, I mean, there'll be each game within the round is going to be difficult. All teams are investing heavily in the clubs, and therefore today you cannot predict who you think could win the O-League. So it's a very even competition.
And just tell us some of the things that OFC is doing to promote the O-League, to get the news out there for the fans this season.
Well, from where it started in 2007, where we had a 10-day tournament involving the 8 clubs, we've now provided home and away, 2 groups of 4 with a final. We've invested heavily in television, so 1 league match per round will be live, and then we'll have a highlights package every week. So we're trying to get more on television. Each country has the capability of filming the match, whether it be live or delayed, and we'll bring those back and we'll have a highlights package at the beginning of each week after each round.
Thank you very much, and we look on with interest at the O-League this season. Welcome back, and we are still here at OFC Headquarters in Green Lane, Auckland. We've just seen the official draw for the 2011-2012 O-League, Plenty of action, of course, in that competition to look forward to, but now as we set up for the second official draw of today, it is Pacific Games, set to take place in New Caledonia, kicking off on the 27th of August. Of course, in the football tournaments we have 11 men's teams and we have 9 women's teams. So great participation levels, as always. It's a huge event. Takes place every 4 years in the Pacific. Defending champions are the hosts, New Caledonia. They won back in 2007 in Samoa. And in the women's draw, it was Papua New Guinea, who have won the tournament twice in 2007 and 2003. So they'll be the ones to beat in the women's competition. We set up here looking at the head of competitions, David Firisua. And it will be 2 groups, a round robin competition in both the men's and women's. 6 teams in Group A for the men's competition and 5 teams in Group B. Then in the women's it will be Group A, 5 teams, and Group B, 4 teams. New Zealand not taking part in this. Of course, the Pacific Games includes all of the countries from across the Pacific apart from New Zealand and Australia. So it will be New Caledonia that are seeded number 1 as hosts, as defending champions. And we look now to the men's competition, the board with 2 groups. Group A with 6 teams, Group B with 5 teams. New Caledonia seeded 1 there in Group A. And Fiji seeded 2, so they take the position of Group B, Team 1. And behind New Caledonia and Fiji we see the likes of Vanuatu and Tahiti, Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea. We run down the seeding that has been arranged for this draw. As we see Dr. Sahu Khan now just pulling out the Group A, position 2. And it will be Vanuatu. So a key match. First up in Group A, New Caledonia versus Vanuatu. Those 2 sides performing well in 2007. And we see here the other seeded team, Tahiti, and taking position 2 in Group B. So in the next pot we have the next 2 seeded teams, Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. So those are the 2 that we await here to see who will take position 3 in Group A. Already New Caledonia and Vanuatu in that Group A. So Solomon Islands have been drawn. Position 3 in Group A. Some reaction here from the attendees. So Group A already looks very strong, and Papua New Guinea of course will take position 3 in Group B. So already in Group A we have the defending champions New Caledonia. We have Vanuatu who finished 3rd in 2007 and Solomon Islands who finished 4th. So a tough group that, Group A. So we're just hearing from David Firisua saying in this last pot it will be the final 3, the bottom 4 seeded teams. And we've just seen American Samoa drawn in position 5 for Group A. So a tough ask for American Samoa. Will be one of the underdogs in this competition. And now to be drawn, position 5 in Group B. one of the other minnows of the Pacific, Kiribati, performed admirably at the OFC Futsal Championship earlier this year. And finally we have Tuvalu. They will take position 6 in Group A. So it is concluded for the men's tournament. For the 11 teams, the draw is complete. Of course, it'll all conclude at Stade Numadeli in Noumea on the 9th of September for the final of that men's competition. An intriguing battle it will be, especially that Group A looks to be tough. New Caledonia, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands taking the first 3 positions. And we await the women's draw to be taken place in just a few minutes. So I'm joined now by Senior Vice President of OFC and of course Solomon Island Football Federation President Martin Alifurai. You've seen the draw. Group A, Solomon Islands has been drawn. How do you feel about your country pulled in that team, that group?
Well, I think it's a good group. I think from the draws, there's a good balance there. There's Tahiti and the Fiji and others on the other side, Solomon Island, New Caledonia, and Vanuatu on the other side. So I think it's a good draw, good start. And right from the beginning, it will be a tough competition right through. So it's good.
New Caledonia, of course, defending champions and their hosts this time. Do you think that they will defend their title this time around?
Well, like any other country who is hosting, they always have the upper hand, have the advantage. But I'm sure this football, anything can happen. Any visitors going there, you know, they could turn the tables upside down. So we'll see what's happened.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And now we'll hear from Dr. Sahu Khan, Treasurer for OFC. What do you think of this draw with Fiji, of course, being seeded in Group B? What do you think that they will be up against in this tournament?
Well, I think it's a very balanced draw, frankly. When I say balanced draw, looking at the experience of the previous years and the strength of the teams, I think it's a very good draw. In fact, I think it's going to be very good for the development of football to have this competition in this balanced draw. Because now, of course, you don't talk about giants. I think the teams have developed so well in Oceania Confederation, and I think it's a very interesting draw.
And perhaps you can say a word on how important the Pacific Games is for all of these countries.
Well, the way I look at it, in my experience, that the Pacific Games for Pacific countries really is like a World Cup, because the significance that has been given to the Pacific Games in the previous years, it's really a World Cup for the Pacific countries.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Well, we've completed the men's draw for the 14th Pacific Games. We look ahead to the women's competition. There will be 9 teams competing from the 27th of August to the 9th of September in New Caledonia with 6 venues. As we look on at the head of competitions, David Firisur, watching on is Ty Nicholas, the OFC General Secretary, being called up to take part in this Pacific Games draw for the women's competition. It will be 2 groups. Group A with 5 teams, Group B with 4 teams. And we hear from David Firisur, the position 1 for Group A. Of course, the teams have been seeded like in the men's draw. Papua New Guinea, defending champions, have been drawn here. Position 1 in Group A. Of course, defending champions, 2007, they beat Tonga in the final 4 years ago, and there we see Tonga has been drawn in position 1 for Group B. So the 2 top teams, or the 2 top seeded teams, of course, the Women's Nations Cup was held late last year. Papua New Guinea coming second to New Zealand. As we look now at Tahiti being drawn as position 2 in Group A. And Fiji now coming in for position 2 in Group B. Fiji, of course, came third in 2007. Now we see the Solomon Islands being drawn in Group A, position 3. And Cook Islands now being drawn in Group B. One of the standouts at the Women's Nations Cup last year, the Cook Islands. They've come a long way in women's football, coming third in that competition behind New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. Of course, New Zealand not taking part in the Pacific Games. And it is New Caledonia, the hosts, drawn in Group A. Bit of an unknown team. They weren't there at the OFC Women's Nations Cup last year, but I'm sure they've been training hard, hosting this event. And there we see Guam in Group B, position 4. Also a team we haven't seen a lot of in recent years. But interestingly, Guam came second in 2003. And we see the last team here drawn, Tonga. There's position 5, American Samoa rather. We see American Samoa completing Group A. The 5 teams, Papua New Guinea, Tahiti, Solomon Islands, New Caledonia, American Samoa in Group A. And in Group B we have Tonga, Fiji, Cook Islands and Guam. That rounds out the official draw of the 14th Pacific Games, men's and women's. 49 games to look forward to from the 27th of August to the 9th of September. Plenty of action to enjoy. Thank you for joining us. We're streaming live on oceaniafootball.com.